Previously on Gritty Gaming Reviews. Game hopefully is patched. It's sitting at a 2 out of 10. Take it or leave it. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, so I know 2 out of 10 probably seemed rough at the time, but I mean, in my defense, I could only play like the first 15 minutes or so of the game without it wiping my save or just freezing altogether. Either way, the past is the past, and as with so many games after release in the modern era, it has been patched, and I can confidently say that this is a title worth adding for anyone in the VR space, specifically looking for a narrated, story-driven game. Given the nature of this title, if that sounds like something that interests you, I'd stop the video and go get it now if you haven't already, because everything from here is obviously spoiler heavy. But before we get to today's review, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, and maybe if you're feeling inclined, go ahead and hit that bell notification too. Let's get to it. Before Your Eyes starts you off in a fisherman's boat, in a sea of endless lost souls. From there, you're told by the fisherman that he chose you out of all the other souls because he believes you have a story to tell, essentially. He explains to you how he's going to campaign for you in front of the gatekeeper, and if she is pleased by your life story, that she'll allow you into her kingdom. And if not, well, you don't want to find out. So, in order for him to properly narrate your story to her, he needs you to retell it in your own words and asks you to think back to your very first memory, warning you that every time you blink, you'll move forward in time. It could be a second, it could be an hour, or it could be years from now. And from there, you're transported back in time to your very first memory. The story you make along the way will essentially be the same as everyone else who plays before your eyes, even with the illusion of choice that developer GoodbyeWorld Games gives you. Essentially, your mother is a composer turned accountant due to a lack of money in her art, and you are either the willing or unwilling prodigy of her left-behind dreams after she hears you played notes from a song that she had composed on her piano years ago. The story is really well done, all the characters are excellently voiced, especially the dad. They're all grounded and fleshed out, and I 100% was invested through the maybe 1.5 to 2 hours that it took to complete the game. And I have to admit, I teared up towards the end. In fact, when I was done with the game, I actually reached out and texted my mom because of how moved I was in the story. Gameplay is for the most part non-existent in the game. You're confined to a pretty small play area, you'll never use your sense controllers, and everything you interact with will, for the most part, be through blinks. It's a really interesting mechanic, and there's a nice rumble in the headset each time you blink that felt really good. Performance seems to be completely resolved. I had 0 issues through my playthrough. Trophies now pop as they should, and there is a chapter select that allows you to clean up any trophies you missed, which is nice. All in all, I don't have many complaints about the game. I do think that the VR version of Before Your Eyes is the best way to experience it. So, if you are in the market for a narrative seated experience, and you have a PSVR 2 right now, there's essentially no competition in the field and should be a welcome addition to any library. For me, the lack of meaningful options to make the story feel my own was a little bit of a letdown, and while I think that the art style was good enough for what it was trying to convey, I wasn't necessarily in love with it. But the voice acting, story, and creative ways of utilizing the eye tracking technology more than makes up for my small gripes, and altogether was an extremely cohesive and wonderful experience that I can recommend to anyone. It's an 8.5 out of 10, take it or leave it. Thanks for watching.